I promise you cannot make this up even if you tried. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a crazy story coming out of Florida. Now, I understand you may have some neighbors that make a lot of noise. They may be a disturbance to you, perhaps. But the most you're going to do, or the most you should do, is knock on the door, express your grievance, and keep it moving. If they fix a noise complaint, okay. If they don't fix it, okay. And sometimes you should just kind of be understanding. If they got a newborn baby and the baby is crying, you may have to understand that babies cry, and there's not much they can really do. They can give them a bottle, they could do whatever, but sometimes the baby will cry. Now, what you should not do under any circumstances is what this guy did to try and fix the problem, although it didn't do that. And this guy is probably going to go to the penitentiary for an extended period of time. Now, before I go any further, let's get into the news clip. If you want to see the clip in full without my commentary, link as always will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
All right, new tonight here at 10 o'clock, a pretty incredible story of a family of three wondering why their baby daughter kept getting sick and why they had a strange odor in their home. Was it their apartment? Was it the water? Well, when they saw this, a man injecting some sort of chemical through the bottom of their door into their home.
Do you see this? Like, imagine, okay, just pause for a second before we go any further into the story. What would you do if you saw a guy doing this to your door? Like, you watching it live on camera, what are you going to do? Now, I know I have an idea of what I might want to do. I can't say these things on camera because, you know, we got the federales watching. But yeah, it wouldn't be a good day for your man right here if he is getting caught doing a thing like this to my front door.
They knew their lives could be in jeopardy. Fox 13's Janae Lewis is here with us in studio tonight with this story. Janae, we're speechless here.
Yeah, it's hard to watch that video and not feel any other way. The family says the excitement they had of moving into their new home quickly turned into terror, and you saw why. As a frustrated neighbor took his concerns too far, now they're afraid to be inside that very home.
It is extremely scary.
Umar Abdullah says it's very difficult to talk about the last few months. He says it started with complaints from a downstairs neighbor over noise.
So after my daughter was born in August last year, his complaint, like footstep complaint, drawer closing.
But escalated to this.
I installed a hidden camera outside because we were suspecting someone is basically tampering our place from outside. And then we caught our neighbor injecting something through our door.
He says a friend noticed an unusual chemical odor in their home in May. They checked the appliances, hoping to determine the source of the smell, but couldn't. A month later, Umar says his eyes started to burn and his daughter was coughing and throwing up. He says the smell had returned, so he checked the water heater nearby, finding a strong odor.
Now, let's just pause right here. If you have any kind of odor or you're going into your home and your eyes are itching, pay attention because it's not just nothing. There's something going on. It could be an appliance. It could be a leak. You could have something going on in your home that could be remedied. You could fix it. Call landlord, call somebody to check on what's going on for sure.
I was bending down. I sniffed all through that place. And
after replacing it, Umar says the odor and discomfort returned. This is when he set up the hidden camera.
On June 27th, I found that our neighbor is coming with a syringe. You know, he's pulling something from a vial and then he's injecting through our entry door. If we could not have found that incident on the camera, probably after a few days, we might have been just dead.
He called police, and records show Zooming Lee was arrested and charged with multiple counts of battery and possession of a controlled substance.
Can we just ask a question? Can we ask one good question? All right. Zooming Lee, are you natural born U.S. citizen, Chinese national? What's going on? What do we have happening here? Like, can we get down to the bottom of that? That's my question. I'm asking. As all I'm saying. I don't know anything. I don't want to be racist and make an assumption. I'm just asking because I know somebody said they're not sending their best. Just a question.
The report identified him as a USF student. A spokesperson from USF says he is no longer enrolled as of this summer. He was a PhD student in the chemistry department.
If people use their knowledge, this extreme knowledge, to harm people, I mean, they can be even more dangerous.
Umar says he was told Zhu Ming is in the process of relocating, but they're still very uneasy, never thinking.
Relocating where? Okay, out of their apartment, I hope. You could relocate to a couple different places. Relocate back to Chinese mainland, right, Beijing, Shanghai, wherever he came from, or relocate to the penitentiary out there in Florida. One or two places. I mean, it can't just be you doing something like that to somebody, get caught on camera doing it, and then you just get to move out to somewhere else, do the same thing. You need to get sent to the penitentiary and or back to mainland China if you are, in fact, what I'm thinking, which is a student here on a visa just for the education only. And if he's not going to be in school anymore, there needs to be a visa that gets revoked. But again, I'm just making assumptions. I could be wrong about what's happening. If you guys know any more about this, let me know in the comments, please.
Their home would become a place they now fear.
I can never expect a neighbor. I mean, I can never imagine to expect something like that happen to anyone. I wish no one else would have to go through a situation like this ever in their life.
Umar says several agencies are now investigating, waiting for final lab reports to determine the exact substance that was injected. But he says they were hazardous chemicals. The family is hoping to relocate, but as we report all the time, housing isn't the easiest to find right now.
Now, what they injected was 2 opioids, actually. I can't remember exactly what they were, top of my head, but there were 2 opioids. And matter of fact, let's see if I can find it right now. Pardon the weird cut. Okay, so we have it right here. Check it out. It says, according to police affidavit, the video camera captured Mr. Lee on 2 occasions using a syringe to inject the substances under the door. Preliminary hazmat testing on the scene indicated that methadone and hydrocodone, both opioids, were involved. Okay, so that's what it was. During the investigation, the officer was exposed to the substances and experienced skin irritation and received medical treatment. Just from investigating it, the officer got injured, I suppose, right? So that is an issue. Now, what I want to see right here in an article is if this guy was, in fact, a Chinese national or what's going on. Maybe I won't find that. Maybe I'll be able to find it afterward. But I think we all kind of can see what's going on here. This is totally crazy. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to the man who lives in the home and his wife and the baby. Hopefully they are able to get well and get beyond the exposure to the chemicals that this man did to them. And shout out to them for being vigilant, not just saying, okay, we smell something, we're not doing well, just going to let it go. No, okay, let's investigate, get down to the bottom of it, hitting the camera, all that good stuff. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What do you feel about this case? Do you think that this could have been avoided? Could it have not been avoided? What should be the punishment for this guy? Aside from if he's an actual citizen, I'm talking about just a criminal punishment here in the States. Now, you need to get a lot of time for that because they could have died and there could be permanent damage to the baby as a result of him injecting the chemicals. Look, you got a problem with noise. Okay. Join the club. Sometimes you're in an apartment and you live downstairs from someone and you're hearing Timberland boots stomping on your ceiling. You're going to go up there and inject opioids under their door to stop it or to get revenge because that ain't going to stop it. This is totally crazy. The guy needs to get put up under the penitentiary, making big rocks to little rocks. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.